Hello and welcome back to Road TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 967. The category is the Final 50 Trivia Challenge. Today's Part 34 was sent in by Mark. 21 questions, random categories. There's some good ones, there's some great ones, there's a lot of tough ones, but there's also a few easy ones. So good luck on today's quiz. Question number 1. It was designed and constructed by Peter Cooper in 1829 to convince owners of the newly formed B&O Railroad to use steam engines. What was the name of the first American-built steam locomotive to operate on a common carrier railroad? The answer is Tom Thumb. Question number 2. It's considered a full-service station, so when you pull up, a worker will pump your gas for you and clean your windows. What state is home to Rygaard's gas station that opened in 1909 and is now the oldest gas station in continuous operation in the U.S.? It's in the state of Pennsylvania. Question number 3. Since the office was established in 1789, 45 men have served as President of the United States of America. Of these men, how many have died in office while serving their country? There have been a total of 8 presidents that died, 4 assassinated, 4 by natural causes. Question 4. An engineering marvel and the main railroad line connecting east and west. What was the name of the 2,300-foot-long stretch of track that was completed by the Pennsylvania Railroad in 1854 that opened the way for railroads to conquer the Allegheny Ridge? That world-famous stretch of track is called the Horseshoe Curve. Question number 5. The longest river in the world, measured from its mouth to its most distant year-round source, is likely the Amazon, which flows 4,345 miles. What is the only enclave country in the world that has no rivers at all? There are only 3 enclave countries, and the only one that has no rivers is Vatican City. Question number 6. Since the space program that put a man on the moon was a long time ago, and no new missions are scheduled in the near future, as of 2020, how many men have stood on the surface of the moon? The answer is 12. 12 men. Question number 7. The 1972 hit song by the Hollies, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress, was one of the many hits from the band. According to the song, what was the height of the Long Cool Woman? The Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress was 5 foot 9 inches. Question number 8. The road spans 29,800 miles from Prudhoe Bay in North Alaska to Ushuaia in Argentina. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, what is the name of the longest road in the world? The longest road in the world is the Pan American Highway. Question number 9. Unfortunately, just a few years afterward, a fire ripped apart the Front Street buildings and the saloon was destroyed. But in 1879, at what saloon in Dodge City, Kansas, did a gunfight take place between Frank Loving and Levi Richardson? That was Miss Kitty's saloon. It was called the Long Branch Saloon. Question number 10. With a net worth considerably less than $1 million, which U.S. president's financial situation contributed to the doubling of the presidential salary to $100,000 in 1949, as well as the presidential pension being created in 1958? The answer is Harry S. Truman. Question number 11, quite the opposite of question 10's answer. What American industrialist was one of the richest Americans in history and gave the majority of his wealth away to philanthropic causes, including the building of over 1,700 public libraries across the country? The answer is Andrew Carnegie. Question number 12. He was elected as the 22nd and the 24th president. He also had 2 different vice presidents. What man was the only president in American history to serve 2 non-consecutive terms in office? Bonus points if you knew that his first name was Stephen. It's Grover Cleveland. Stephen Grover Cleveland. Question number 13. Although it was finally demolished in 1971, what was the name of the Major League Baseball stadium that holds the claim of the first MLB stadium built in America, being built in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in 1909, followed soon after by similar stadiums in Chicago, Cleveland, Boston, and New York? That famous stadium was Forbes Field. Question number 14. A 2021 and 2022 survey conducted by the American Pet Products Association found that 70% of households own a pet. The second most popular type of pet was in 45.3 million households, and what type of pet was the most popular, living in 69 million U.S. households? The answer is the dog. Cat was number 2. Question number 15. The Liberty Bell, first known as the State House Bell, cracked up literally. It was last rung in 1846 to celebrate which man's birthday, and then stopped ringing because of damage from a major crack? They rang it on George Washington's birthday, which is also President's Day. Question 16. A rear-engine, rear-wheel drive configuration had been employed in foreign models, and headlamps that turned with the front wheels had been available for decades, but they were firsts for modern American production. What automobile was a pioneer in terms of engineering and safety features? That vehicle was the Tucker 48, or the Tucker Torpedo. Question 17. On the morning of August 6, 1945, the American B-29 bomber Enola Gay dropped an atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. What was the name of the second city that was intended to be bombed but was replaced by Nagasaki because of bad weather? That city was Kokura. Question number 18. Henry VIII was the King of England from April 22nd, 1509 until his death in 1547. Henry is best known for his 6 marriages and for making what modern holiday an official holiday by royal charter in 1537? He made Valentine's Day an official holiday. Question 19. For objects traveling in dry air of a temperature of 68 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level, this speed is approximately 768 miles per hour. Speeds greater than 5 times the speed of sound, or Mach 5, are often referred to by what term in aerodynamics? That term is hypersonic. Question 20. Originally, they were square-shaped, measuring 2 feet by 2 feet, and featured black letters on a yellow background. According to the Manual of Traffic Signs, the first stop signs were posted in what state in 1915? The answer is Michigan. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRIpVIA. Like I said at the beginning of this episode, today's quiz was sent in by Mark. It's part 34. He'll be in the drawing for $500 during the live episode at the end of this month, where we're giving it away to one of the 50 people who sent in trivia quizzes for the Final 50 Trivia Challenge. Today's quiz was probably a little bit difficult if you aren't from America. We've got viewers from all over the world, and today's was pretty specific. Actually, even if you lived in America, there were some pretty tough questions in there, but that's the beauty of having 50 different people send in trivia quizzes. You get questions that are very specific from a whole lot of categories rather than just the questions that I would write. We're getting a good variety of questions from people all over the country and all over the world. And we've got about 33 more random trivia quizzes that we're going to squeeze in before the end of this month, working our way to episode number 1000 and then to the live episode, which will be the first live episode we've ever done, where we'll be giving away the $500 and doing a lot of other fun stuff that night. So if you're interested in a longer live version of trivia, we'll be asking some questions. I'll be showing some pictures and reading some comments from earlier when I first started this channel. We got some pretty funny comments, answering questions with viewers. If that sounds fun, join us. I think it'll be September 28th going into September 29th. It'll be a couple hours long. You can pop in at any time, say hello. I think it'll be a pretty good time. Anyways, here is question 21, the tiebreaker for the Final 50 Challenge, Part 34. Elvis Presley gave away an estimated 200 Cadillacs before his tragic death in 1977. Known as the King of Rock and Roll, Elvis Presley could have also been called the King of Cadillacs. According to the old story, Elvis once bought how many Cadillacs in one day just to give them all away? If you're playing today's trivia against someone else, I'd say the closest one to this number wins. And if you're playing by yourself, I'd say if you get it within 5 under or 5 over, I'll give you the point. How many Cadillacs did Elvis once buy in a single day just to give them all away? The answer is 32. All right. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow for another episode of Road TRIpVIA.